Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Wednesday, February 25th edition of our video devotionals. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope your Wednesday is going well, and it is the middle part of the work week and school week. It's also church time for many of us, so I hope you can be in church tonight and to be a part of that. I think that's very, very important. All right, we're going to jump into this today. We're going to be in Mark chapter 6. We're going to read, I think, starting around verse 17, read down to verse number 24, 25, a little bit more lengthy reading. Find that if it is your custom. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and we appreciate your comments and acknowledgments. We also appreciate you praying for a dear lady who's had these complications due to a dog bite, and then faithful listener, faithful viewer, and then, of course, the folks up there in the Northeast, specifically my pastor friend, who's dealing with all that heavy snow and all that they got to do with that up there. So remember those folks, if you will. All right, so Mark chapter 6, notice verse 17. It says, "For Herod himself had sent forth and laid hold upon John, and bound him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife, for he had married her. For John had said unto Herod, it is not lawful for thee to have thy brother's wife." Now I'm going to skip down. So Herodias, his brother's wife that he marries, she gets upset about it. She would have killed him, the Bible says, but she wasn't in that position. Now notice verse 21. "And when a convenient day was come that Herod on his birthday made a supper to his lords, high captains, and chief estates of Galilee. And when the daughter of the said Herodias came in and danced and pleased Herod, and them that sat with him, the king said unto the damsel, Ask of me whatsoever thou wilt, and I will give it thee. And he sware unto her, Whatsoever thou shalt ask of me, I will give it thee unto half of my kingdom. And she went forth and said unto her mother, What shall I ask? And she said, The head of John the Baptist." And here we have John the Baptist. He's in prison because he speaks to the king Herod and says, It's not right for you to marry your brother's wife. And the one that really got upset about that was Herodias. And like I said, she would have had him killed then, but she's not in that position to do that. But it just so happened it was Herod's birthday, and here's this big party. So what does Herod do? He brings all these people in. He says, okay, I'm going to have my stepdaughter, I'm going to have her dance. And the Bible says that she pleased him with this dancing and all of that. And he says, I tell you what, to reward you for your dancing around, I'm going to give you basically whatever you want. And so she goes to her mother and says, Mom, what should I ask? Now here's what the mama, the mad mama, the wife to Herod says. I want John the Baptist's head. Man, pretty spectacular woman, huh? Now, of course, I'm being sarcastic. Imagine a woman that evil and that upset that she would have the man of God in prison because he basically spoke the truth, but she's so upset about it that she wants him beheaded. And imagine that. Well, that's what happens. Now, here's what I want to say. We live in a society that's no different. I'm sure it's no different than any society that we've ever had. It's always been this sort of thing. Here's the point I want to make. You know, here's a young girl, and she comes in, and all she does is dance around. I don't know what kind of dancing it was. It could have been very provocative. It could have been very skillful. I have no idea. But all she did was come in and dance. And all of a sudden, Herod says, you know what? Because it pleases me, I'm going to give you something that would be of unbelievable value. And, of course, we know what she asked. So here's what I want to say about that. Our society, we've got this value that we place upon things like the sports world, professional sports in particular. You've got men and ladies who make millions and millions and millions of dollars, not just in their career, but I'm talking about in 1 year's time, and sometimes in one event, boxers who can make millions of dollars by going 15 rounds, 12 rounds, 10 rounds, whatever it is. In some cases, you've got these mixed martial arts, that sort of thing, 3 rounds perhaps. Point I'm making is the value that we place upon the sports world. And then you've got Hollywood, people that literally will basically just professionally lie, which means they're putting on a show, they're acting like they're somebody, they're getting into reading a script, and they're making millions and millions and millions of dollars for one particular movie or these sitcoms, all of that sort of thing. Things is just not even true. You've got these people that can sing very well. You've got people that stand up and sing and make millions of dollars. People go to concerts. And again, some of that stuff is of no value. In fact, it's hurtful because of lyrics and the music, all of that together. The point I'm making is the value that is placed upon something is amazing, especially compared to the value that we should place on those things. Hey, let's talk about occupation just for a minute. Imagine policemen and firemen and the medical world. And you say, well, the medical world. Well, doctors and surgeons don't make as much as you think they do. Not in comparison. Now, listen to me, not in comparison to an athlete, to a singer, to an actor, by far. How about school teachers? Now, there's a job. Teaching children. I'm talking about teachers that teach children the things they need to know and things to help them be who they need to be. And they make very, very little money. And especially, now they don't make much money, period, but especially compared to people that we place values upon. So what I'm saying is, here's this little girl. She comes in and just dances around, twirling around and carrying on, and probably was the kind of music that probably wouldn't be right in the dancing either. I don't think any dancing is really proper, in my opinion, but that's a whole new story. You can take it up with yourself, the Lord, your preacher, whoever. But I'm saying she comes around and dances, and the king says, I tell you what, I'm going to give you almost a blank check. And isn't it amazing the value that he placed upon a dance of his stepdaughter and all of that? So what I'm saying is, be careful with your value. Be careful with your value system. There's things that are very important in life, and I think we better be careful how we value things, because certainly there's people that don't value that which is right. In fact, they put high value on things that's just not even right. Well, I know I went a little extra, a little preachy today, right? Well, I hope you have a great day, safe day, healthy day. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for watching.